Oh, that is a nice copper coin. But oh, Doug, do you know what time it is?
45 up.
Who says 45 of, Doug? It's quarter after. Who says 45, Doug? It's quarter. I love cracking myself up, even if no one else thinks it's funny. Oh, man, I thought it was funny. What's up, guys? Quarter Hoarder here. Excited about the newest quarter after live stream. I'm really enjoying this. I wasn't sure if I was going to or not. I see 168 people in the chat. Teresa, the treasure hunter, one of my moderators, is here. Thank you, Teresa. Hollywood Joe, metal detecting, I saw, is in the chat. Thank you, Joe. 717 detectors. Vonda Helton, she bought a hat off me earlier today. Thank you, Vonda. SJ Mixed Adventures, haven't seen her in a long time. But we have a whole mega show planned out today. I've got games, I've got fun, I've got people that you're going to recognize joining me. So let me bring them in and get this party started. First and foremost, Charlie, the Heritage Relic Hunter. There he is, looking as dapper as ever, Charlie.
Good evening, Jason. Good evening, everyone. How you doing?
Now, Charlie, we're detecting tomorrow. So if this goes late, you're going to have to early riser tomorrow.
My wife is my alarm clock, so it'll be
there
fun.
We go. All right, I also got our antiques expert, Lynn, and probably the best looking of the bunch because, Charlie, you and I are slowly falling apart, my friend.
Definitely we are.
And then, of course, everyone's favorite, Dog Tag Doug, Mexican Doug, Jane Fond Doug is in the house. How are you feeling today, Doug?
I'm feeling real good. I had a great experience today. I was trimming my mustache for the event and saw 3 black hairs.
No, you did. They must have fell off of Kathy's brush.
So I'm hoping I'm pulling a Benjamin Button and getting younger.
I'm not sure if what you're pulling, Doug, but I'm not buying the black hairs.
Well, I just got back from North Carolina, so I'm going to give everybody, how y'all doing?
Ooh. Yeah, Doug missed the last week's show. He was traveling. We're going to talk about that more in the future because we're going to put a package together so you guys can check out what he did. It was pretty cool.
I was on assignment, Jay.
Now, if you haven't noticed, Rich Van Winkle might not be able to join us today. He had a family matter come up. You guys may see him in the chat later. I'm not sure, but Rich will be back next stream. And Doug, talking about next stream, before we start, I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
Oh, great.
But I decided, guys, I'm going to move the live stream to every 2 weeks because, holy cow, you have no idea how much work it takes to just, you'll see the end of the show, like all the things I put together and videos and trying to also do the Tuesday show. I'm just running out of time. And Tuesday's video, I couldn't even get a thumbnail together. YouTube picked one for me. And you can ask Doug, Charlie, and Lynn, like, you know, after I agonize over editing the video all week, I agonize again over the thumbnail. And it might just look like, chick, I took a picture. But I mean, it takes hours. I'll take 12 pictures and Photoshop them all together to try to get it how I like. And if I don't have a thumbnail, it bums me out. So I don't want the Thursday show to distract from the Tuesday show. So starting after today, every 2 weeks, quarter after, right here on the channel. What do you think about that, Charlie?
It sounds great. Yeah.
Thank you. Lynn, you okay with every other?
That works.
Doug, you good with every other?
I'm thrilled about it, actually.
Well, every other. Oh, and Rich Van Winkle is in the chat, so I do see him. Rich, I'm glad you made it at least through your fingers.
And could I just say something on his text?
Sure.
Right there? Rich and Lynn are son and mother. They're not married. They're not brother and sister. And Matt is not Rich's brother. That is.
Hope that clears it up.
We've heard all kinds of things about, are they married? And now Lynn looks like she's young enough to be married to Rich.
And Doug.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not Doug's father either.
Charlie is not Doug's dad.
No.
Yes.
Doug is not my sister. I get that a lot. Come on, guys. Get the family tree together.
Yes.
All right, Doug, let's start this shindig. I got a whole lot of cool stuff to do this week.
Okay.
So let me bring this up. The point of the quarter after show is that we're going to rehash that week's episode and talk about it behind the scenes, funny things. We're going to incorporate some games and all sorts of stuff. So we're going to jump into that. But I certainly don't want to overlook the chat. So I do see Prairie Pirate, who I just realized today was our good friend David and Laura Chumley. I didn't even know that.
Yes.
So what's up, guys? The Copper Poppers are here. Matt Freeze, a buddy of ours who we just attended.
My buddy Matt. Okay.
My Hobby Channel 78, DD, Mud Swap, Jim Steele, Bells, who is Doug's biggest fan, and vice versa. Digging up the Carolinas. It goes on and on and on. But let's get this ball rolling, Doug. What do you think?
Yes. Yeah, let's get it moving like I got that big millstone moving.
Yeah, someone said in the chat earlier, it looks like Doug's changing his first car tire.
Yeah, right. I re-aggravated a hernia with that.
But that's what I'm talking about the thumbnail. Like that, was a lot of editing, and hopefully it doesn't look like a lot of editing. That's the point. But I mean, look at that face that Doug's making. I mean, that's the money shot. You know what I mean? Like, I love animated faces, it looks like something cool's happening. I don't know what, but something cool is happening.
I had to change my shorts.
Yeah. All right,
Too
let's see
much
what we got,
info.
Doug.
Oh,
I'm
gosh.
going to be pausing it a lot because I put like a slideshow.
Oh, there's a handsome face.
There it is. Now, this was our third and final trip to this house, 1740s house. So the video started in the backyard because we'd already done a lot of the front yard. And this comment from Digging Up the Carolinas, who's in the chat, said, Charlie said this reminded him of school. And Jason said, oh, did you find a buckle? And I have a little clip we're going to play on that, Doug.
Yeah. That was funny.
It reminds me of my report card when I was in high school.
Oh, is it a big D? Is it a D buckle? It wasn't a D buckle, but it was that awesome A brooch. And a lot of people really love that. This comment from Jim Chambers, 4961, said it looks like University of Alabama A. And I don't know if that's true or not. I thought it was a woman's pin, but I don't know. Lynn, what do you think?
I think it could be either. It's big. I mean, but it could be. They made those initial pins in all sizes.
Yeah, it looked like Laverne and Shirley, like a big, like
Kinda,
that,
yeah.
like Shamil, Schlemazel.
Little.
Yeah. Do guys usually wear those things? Even
This
back
guy
then?
doesn't, but I can't speak
No.
for all guys.
Yeah,
Guys
okay.
usually didn't.
Yeah.
Looks more like the Atlanta Braves A.
If I play it through here, the Copper Poppers, who were in the chat, said Charlie found the scarlet letter,
Yes.
letter.
Yeah.
And then I think I put a third one up. Who cares said he's an adulteress, and it's a letter A too. So I don't know, I just thought it was funny, but that was the start of the day, and I love interesting relics like that. So that was the precursor to the day, trip number 3 from this house. Let's see what else we got. Oh, now Doug, this was a good one.
Yes.
Now, Doug had found this piece that we didn't know what it was. I thought it was like a bell charm, like a smushed bell charm. And Caps Danny, said he had a matching item. It's not a bell. It's a hair or hat pin or a wax matrix. Now, when I saw that, I was like, what the heck is a wax matrix? I had to Google it. Never heard that word before. And in doing so, I'll show you what I found, Doug, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
Another view came in, My View 1875, who I believe lives overseas. He said it was a Georgian copper alloy seal matrix. It was squished down, and it would have had a wax seal at the bottom. And I think I have a photo of it, so you can kind of see what it would have looked like. So there it is. So
yeah.
if you see under the letter A, that's what yours would have looked like.
Yeah.
And then on the other side over here, it would have had that wax seal at the bottom, and you would stamp your initial. It was actually a wax seal fob, because if we go back over to this picture, there's the wax seal stamp under the A, it would have a chain going around, and then this was your pocket watch fob. So you would have it connected to your pocket watch. You know, you're fancy. You pull your watch out, what time it is. You put your mark down on whatever you're doing. So I thought it was a pretty cool thing, Doug. We dismissed it as a bell. It was actually a much more personal item than that.
Yeah, very cool.
Very
So thank you to everyone that helped us figure out what that thing was. And our buddy Wicked Digger, another moderator, is here helping out too. What's up, Chris? How are you?
Chris.
Let's see what else we got, Dougie.
All right.
Oh, and there's a piece of the bottom of yours that would have held the wax seal.
Right.
All right, next I got this cool button in the backyard. It said Die Hard Digger said that's a great Eagle button. I never seen one like that. Is it a 2-piece? It was actually a 3-piece button, which we don't get a lot of, probably Civil War period. And I have some pictures of what it would have looked like right there. So you can see where the eagle is here is the first piece. Then this surrounding piece, which wraps around to the bottom over here, is the second piece. And then the shank is a piece of wire that's punched through and soldered on the inside. So it's a 3-piece button. Very cool. Like I said, probably Civil War, maybe slightly after, but we don't find a lot of them. The last one I remember was actually in Lynn's backyard. Rich found it going back 2 years or so ago. Do you remember that one, Doug?
I do. I just want to add, we do have a history of Civil War activity in Bucks County, where we were hunting that day is probably about 20 minutes from the county seat, Doylestown, where the Lacey Brigade trained for the Civil War for the North. They became known as the Bucks County Brigade, and they would have had to have marched right past that house, down into Langhorne, and then down to Philadelphia, where they shipped out for the Peninsula Campaign in 1862. So we have found other Civil War era or before in our neck of the woods because of that brigade that trained not 20 minutes away.
And speaking of that, I mean, one of my biggest bucket list finds that I've still not found is a 3-ring bullet of any kind, because although there were a few training areas around, there wasn't a lot of Civil War fighting action.
No.
And when I see those Southern guys, come home from a dig with 50 bullets, I do get a little jealous.
But tell everybody who's found 2 in our group.
I'm not going to tell them. I think you just told them.
2.
Let me see. That's that button. I think I had one more picture up here. Let me see. Oh, there's a picture of the underside of mine. Not much to look at, but
yeah.
All right. This is a good one too, Doug.
Yes.
You had this awesome tag. Now, this is not a precious metal. It's not gold or anything like that. But I love trying to figure out what those script initials are. And there must have been 50 comments of people's guesses.
All right.
Julie Howell said it might be MFL. Hey, good as guess as any in my mind. I have put a couple up. Tracy Ward said she thinks it's MFB. Don't know. Patrick Cooper gave a whole slew of possibilities. Just type the whole alphabet out, Patrick. So it could be any of those possibilities. If I turn it upside down, Sour Cream said could be GLW for George Limp Noodle Washington. Was that his middle name, Doug?
Limp Noodle, yes. He just went by Limp.
Oh, okay. Just L.
Yes.
But yeah, and then I think finally somebody said, Peter Leray said, as an engraver, the font is indeed MFL. I'm going to give it to Peter. That's what he says. Amphibious Detecting, I just saw came over. Thank you.
Wow.
Really enjoy the stream, but dinner's calling. Buy a round of coffee for the gang. I will. I don't know if Lynn drinks coffee. Do you drink coffee, Lynn?
Yeah.
All right. So, all right, go eat your dinner. We might even be here when you're done eating dinner, but thank you very much. So yeah, that was an awesome pin engraving, Doug. And it kind of stinks a little bit. And I'd said it last week where I forget. Rich and I found something, and Rich has got all the. Oh, you know what it was? I found that last week, that coin that was like whittled into like a pie design.
Right.
And all through the comments, people were saying, "Great find, Rich." Like I was, I found it. I never get any credit.
Yeah.
In this video, Doug found this thing that was engraved. About 10 minutes later, I found a gold-plated cufflink that was engraved.
Almost the same thing.
Not a single comment on mine. Not one. I get
That's
not
all
like Rodney
news by then.
Dangerfield. I get no respect.
Yeah. Well, the one thing about our hobby, when you find something like this, even if it isn't precious metal or whatever, if it has somebody's initials engraved into it, it's really fun to find. It might be part of the history, the personal history of that house. So we get excited over little things like that.
Oh, more than excited.
Yeah.
The relics tell a story. You can have a lot of fun with them. Coins are harder to, have fun with.
I had and Jay, you will remember this, right down the street from where Rich lives, a few years ago, I found a sterling thimble.
Oh yeah, it was beautiful.
With the name of the owner of the house back at that period of time in the 1700s, and they looked up the information. It turned out it was a previous owner. So that was cool finding that.
And you know what's talking about that story, a real quick side note, and you and I remember this differently, so I'm not sure who's right. I think it was me. But you found that thimble, and the owner who lives next door came over.
Right.
From my recollection, you offered it to them. You said, "Hey, I found this. I think it goes to the house. If you'd like it, I'll give it to you." And the guy said, "Nah, I'm not interested," and walked back away from you.
No, you're thinking of a house right down the street. I found a monogrammed sterling fork, and the guy next door, whose last name started with the letter on the fork, when I offered it to him as it might be his, he said, "No, I'm not interested." So I still have it.
So it goes without saying, nobody wants Doug's old forks.
No.
Awesome find there, Doug. Let's keep the party going.
Hey, Jason.
Yes.
How about the trapper tags that we find, and the relatives are still nearby sometimes? These trapper
With the
tags.
name, yeah.
Oh yeah, anything with a name on it is super cool. You could really have a lot of fun with that.
Explain what a trapper tag is for those that don't know, Charlie.
Well, years ago, people would set traps for raccoons and muskrats, and they would have a little copper tag on the chain so they knew the traps were theirs. And that's what we find. We actually find that tag sometimes.
Yeah, that's so
A lot of times they'll have the name and an address, or at least a town. So it really kind of makes that connection.
Yeah. They're
They're often hand punched into like a piece of copper. So no, definitely cool. All right, the next slide came up, Doug. This was Charlie's Barber dime. It was absolutely stunning in the front yard that we had been through for maybe by this point 12 hours.
Yep.
Still missing things. And Cheap Laugh Kennedy said it looks like the part of Liberty's cap on that Barber dime. And that's because in the video I said that this piece up here, when it was dirty, I thought could have been a cud. Do you know what a cud is, Doug?
The only thing I know about cud is the cows chew it.
I have a picture. Hold on. Let me
They
bring up the cud.
regurgitate and chew.
All right. So these pictures, this is what a cud is on a coin. You see how there's like an extra glob of metal on this Roosevelt dime
Okay.
and an extra glob up here? During the minting process, extra metal gets in the mix and gets stamped into the coin. So it makes it really extra special. It's usually noticeable. Normally it's on the edge. But when it was in a dirty state, it looked like that could have been a cud. Turns out that it's not a cud, Charlie. I'll bring up the next photo I have. You know, normally when we find Barber dimes, they kind of look like this, and they're all slicked out. And you can't make out nothing. So I probably forgot what they looked like. But here's a nice Barber dime over here, and she is wearing that.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
What do you call that hat, Doug?
It's not a hat. She's wearing an olive wreath on her head.
No, but it is a hat. It's called a Starts with a P. It's like an old timey hat. If anybody knows the hat that she's wearing, throw it up in the
You
chat.
got me.
It's called like a P. It starts with a P, not a fedora. But thank you,
That
Josh.
starts with an F.
I can't. It eludes me. There it is, right there. Scouting for history. A Phrygian hat or Fijian hat, something like that.
Phrygian.
However you pronounce it.
Phrygian.
So thank you for filling in the gaps there.
Well, we got some intelligent people watching, don't we?
I know, Doug. I mean, I rely on the comments every week for years
Yep.
to help me figure out what things are. I only know things from reading about it previously. I don't know.
Well, we really do give Google a workout in the field, don't we?
Yeah. But the people in the comments and the chats, that's the one thing about our community is if I don't know or you don't know, someone's going to know, and you share information. Let's see what we got next here, Dougie.
All right.
This was Matt's key. This was the watch winding key, Victorian.
That's one of the nicer ones I've
design
ever
on
seen.
it. They said it may have had a precious stone in the middle.
Could have.
I'm not sure.
Could have.
Let me get to the next one. I do see real quick why I see the chat in the corner of my eye. Adrian Tucker is there, who won a hat last week. He emailed me right after the show. I didn't see the email till this morning, so it didn't mail out to this morning. Hey, but it's in the mail, Adrian. I saw Digging with Dee just here. Awesome. She does a lot of live streaming if you don't know her channel. Digging Kansas Dirt. Tyler Yoska, who is one of the Copper Poppers, right, Charlie?
That's right. Yes. Yes. He is.
Turd Ferguson, who won something last week. Turd, you never emailed me, brother, or I didn't see it in my spam. So, email me, buddy. NEPA History and Archaeology Search, Heavenly Hills Homestead, Texas Plug Riches. Thank you, everyone that came. I think there's like
we got over 500
people in the chat.
We got over 500.
Thank you. Marcy M. Oh, Marcy, thank you.
Woo.
Hi, all enjoying the live, all your finds. A couple of us are going to Missouri event the first week of April. Doug, I think we're going to that event.
We are.
That's the event he asked me to go. It was almost a year ago.
That's Mr. Barks.
Yes. In fact, I have my tickets right over there. He actually mailed me tickets, which I thought like, wow, if I showed up without the ticket, would I not get in?
Probably. Nobody would recognize you.
Yeah, it's his first time doing a hunt. I think 200 plus people. So very aggressive, but he seems very well organized. When he's questioned, he has answers. I think it's going to be really successful. That's in April. It's called the Show Me Pro-Am. When the stream's over, I'll put a link in the description of this video.
We got
Charlie. Turns out that hunt is the exact same weekend as Robert's Come Out Swinging.
That's right.
Because Robert just emailed me and asked if we could make it, and I said, of all the weekends, I won't be around.
Yep.
We got North Georgia represented.
North Georgia.
North Georgia. So hello to Georgia.
Was that their name, or was that where they were from?
No. It was Randy, I think.
Okay. Doug, now there was a lot of rigmarole around this.
No. We got it all worked out.
Well, when I dug the buffalo nickel, I said in passing, Doug, is that why is it not a bison? Like, what's the difference?
Okay.
And I put Doug on the spot, which I love doing because there's no more fun than fun under pressure.
Yeah.
And Doug gave the best answer he could in the moment and explained the differences. And it sounds like, Doug, you were right.
I am right. I just don't know how to explain myself.
I don't know how you pronounce this person's name in the comment. Behn Benkem one?
Benkem.
I apologize if I butchered your name. Wasn't that Korean song you like, Doug? Whoopum Benton style.
No, that was Gangnam style.
Oh, well, all right, whatever. Sorry. But he said there's numerous differences between the buffalo and bison. Most obvious is the large hump on the back. Yada, yada, yada. You can read his comment. But Doug was right. He called it. So all these years, everyone calls it a buffalo nickel, Doug. I guess it's actually a bison nickel.
It's a bison nickel. Exactly.
I will forever call it a bison nickel.
We've all been
we've been bamboozled
naming it for years. So
and talking about bad naming, Doug. I I'm going to say real fast, last stream, I did a game where I forget the game, but the winning answer was V nickel or Liberty nickel.
Right.
And the answer that came in first said Victory nickel.
Right.
Which I poo-pooed and said, no, I can't accept it. Now, I had a week later to reflect on it, and I still do not accept it. But I'm going to send that guy a prize anyway. His name was Smokin' Louie. Smokin' Louie, if you're here, if you put your zip code in the chat and then email me and your physical address matches, I'll send you a prize, and I'll even mention you the next V-Nickel we have when Doug and I incorrectly called a victory.
I will give you the V-Nickel to send to him.
All right. And I just saw a chat from, let me scroll back up. Show me treasure. I'm hoping to come to the Missouri event. Haven't seen you and Doug since the Arkansas hunt. Well, let me tell you, Doug looks 10 times better in person than he does in the video. So I hope you do show up and say
I got 3 black hairs.
Well, not anymore. They fell out. You had 3 black hairs this morning.
Can I say something?
Sure.
My buddy, Chris Fallon, our buddy,
Yes.
who accompanied me to North Carolina, for which I am eternally grateful. He and his cousin, we had a great time, and he helped me out a lot.
Is Chris in the chat?
He's in the chat.
Okay, Chris, how are you? He's a good dude.
Say something.
All right, let's see what we got next here, Dougie.
All right.
Oh, Doug, this was your find. You had found this Indian penny right up against the house in their garden.
Yes.
And what's funny is the homeowners, husband and wife, were standing there as Doug's trampling through the garden, digging up her boxwoods.
Fox glove.
What were they called?
Fox gloves.
Fox glove?
Yeah.
And the woman, very nice, she's like, don't dig up my fox gloves.
Yeah.
They were awesome too. But what I didn't even think about in the moment was you dug a first year thin 1864 Indian.
Right.
And in the moment, I forgot that there's a variation on that coin.
Exactly.
And Gene Ponce, who was a frequent commenter, thank you, Gene, reminded me and said, did you check for the L ribbon on Doug's Indian? And I think I have a picture in case people aren't familiar with what she's talking about.
Yep. I actually have one that does have the L.
Yeah.
This wasn't it.
No, yeah, the L is the rare one, right behind the Indians, near the headdress here. You can see it.
Yeah.
If it has an L, it's a more valuable one, and then there's no L there. Doug's, as dirty as it was the no L variant, but I forgot to even mention it. You know, I like to drag things like that out.
Yes.
So thank you to Gene Ponce for reminding me. And I just saw Pink Power Alley Treasure Hunter, our good friend Allison from up north in Canada is in the chat. Allison,
Hello,
it's great to see you here.
Yes.
She's a great ring finder also.
Oh, she's incredible. Like, she's the kind of person where, you know, if you're on vacation and you're swimming and you lose your ring, you can contact the ring finders. She would come out for free, suit up, go in the water, try to find your ring just to put smiles on faces. I mean, that's
she has a very good success rate.
Oh, she's very talented. And like I said, she does it out of the goodness of her heart on the fly for people at like their most distressed time. So a real superhero of the metal detecting community, Pink Power Allison there.
And Jason, she does come to PA. She comes up to that dirt digging PA up north. Allison does come to that.
Yeah, she also came to the Joe DeMarco's hunt a couple times.
Yes.
She comes all the way down, hunts Joe's in South Jersey, and then turns right around and drives all the way back. So real trooper.
Dedication.
All right, so let's see what else we got here, Dougie. Oh, Charlie's beautiful half cent. The oldest coin we found on day 3, even though we found some older ones on days 1 and 2. Steven Stark, who is a good friend of mine, another excellent video. Thank you. Really cool finds today. And congrats, Charlie, finding that Draped bust half cent. Beautiful. Look how nice the detail are, Doug, on the face of that thing.
Look at the 1/200. How that pops.
Lynn, I'm not including you as much as I probably should,
It's okay.
What do you think of that half cent, Lynn?
Oh, it's dandy.
Lynn, just interject. You know I talk a lot. Just cut me off and I'll stop.
I will if I have something to say.
All right. Feel free to jump in.
Yeah, well, I wasn't there at that hunt, so I'm just enjoying watching it.
Yeah, Rich actually wasn't at this hunt either. We went back on a weekday to try to just finish it up, and I think Rich couldn't get off work or something.
Exactly.
Jason, half cent was found not too far from where Rich found 2 coppers a week before.
Oh, everything was in that small area in the front yard, and every time we did another pass, we found more and more stuff.
Can I just say, Charlie has given us all a good idea with the legend and switched to the channel 10, Charlie, right?
10 hertz, yeah.
10 megahertz. And how much more did you find after you did that? And at our next spot where we'll be again tomorrow.
Charlie, hold on. Let me just say thank you to Matthew B1963 before it disappears. Love your channel. Big number 1, Doug. That's got to be for you, the number 1. Go ahead, Charlie.
Okay. Go ahead, Charlie.
What was your question? He probably forgets.
Doug, you were saying about the places we're at now. We some of us do switch our machines because of conditions and stuff.
To 10 megahertz on the legend, and I intend to use that frequency tomorrow. So hopefully I'll come up with the 5 copper day like you had.
Let me see what else we got here, Doug. I forget how many more of these I have to get through the recap. Oh, that's the front of Charlie's Draped bust half cent. The front not quite as good looking as the backside, but I always say Charlie always has the best looking backside.
Exactly.
Is that right, Judy? Bye, Judy. She just.
Let me see what else we got here. Oh, this was an homage again to the guy who gave the victory nickel last week, Smoking Louie. Doug actually got a V nickel that video, and I'm getting all these comments now, Doug. My View 1875 says love Doug's victory nickel.
Yeah.
I have one. Mark Gendron, Doug, congrats on the victory nickel.
That's Gendron.
Scott
Like
Curry, oh, cool. Doug got a victory nickel. So that's going to be a thing, I guess, Doug, is now it's going to be called
the victory nickel.
And then in the video comment, there's Smoking Louie. I'm just going to keep calling them victory nickels.
All right. We renamed the victory nickel. We renamed the bison nickel.
Yeah.
So are there any other nickels we can rename?
I'm not sure at the moment. We haven't found any other nickels in a while.
Okay.
Digging
up the Carolinas. He keeps putting that up on the screen.
What?
Just so everybody knows, I am digging up the Carolinas father. For Daddy.
What do I got next here? Oh, just like you were talking about, Doug. Dan Steffi said he took Charlie's advice and switched his machine to 10 kilohertz, and he found some nice things, including a Civil War button.
There you go.
Charlie, your advice is traveling far and wide, my friend.
Right.
Well, it seems like it works very well on wet ground for some reason.
Well, it'll be wet tomorrow, Charlie.
Yeah,
wet.
Sure.
It's going to be like 6 inches of mud we're traveling through all day.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring a bucket just to clear the way out. Let me see. I think we're almost through these, and we'll get into game.
That's a good idea. We'll call the V nickel a Vickle.
Great.
Okay, you had to put that up, didn't you?
Well, these were just some random comments that I thought I would include that didn't
I'm talking
address.
about the picture.
Well, I put it up because it said B. Miller said can't wait for Doug to find his first flying eagle. I just thought the picture looked like, ooh, maybe you did have a flying eagle, but not that time.
Yeah, that's the constipated look.
No, that's the ooh, I got something good look. Let me see here. Sluzen said the show is interesting. My favorite type of comment, Doug, that the camera work and sound was nice. I worry about that more than anything else. I can't tell you how much money I spend to make sure I got quality microphones, quality editing software. I like it to look good. So that's the best compliment you can give me, even more so than how much you liked my coin. So
Right.
thank you.
Thanks, Lauren.
Let me see what else I got here. This guy, Exarch with Grandpop, said he recognized the spot we were at. He grew up down the road
Yep.
and used to ride his bike to the store in the post office. And today he lives out near Charlie in Gilbertsville.
Yeah, that's where I taught school too, in Gilbertsville.
Oh, really? In Gilbertsville? I didn't know that.
I taught school, yeah.
Doug, I get a lot of emails from people telling me they recognize the houses we were at.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, a lot of the houses we do are on major roads, really
Right.
old houses, right out in public.
Right.
We've had people pull over and talk to us, people that the one house when we were at Lynn and Tarina's, someone pulled in their driveway, parked, got out and ran up to us. I'm like, we don't know these people. You can't just pull in their driveway.
Yep.
But thank you, guys. We are around, and you're always welcome to stop and say hello. Just park on the shoulder.
Yep.
Out West Detecting. Thank you, sir. Hello from the other side of the country. Not so sunny California. Well, welcome. It's probably like maybe like 4 or 5 o'clock there. I don't know the time difference, Doug. What's the math?
3 hours. 3 hours time difference.
I thought there were some parts of California that were 4-hour time difference.
No, then you're in Hawaii.
Is that right? Lynn, is he right?
I thought it was maybe
3 hours.
four if it was way west, but mostly 3, I think.
Out West Metal Detecting. You're from California. Are there areas on California, the continental U.S., that's 4 hours different than the East Coast? Maybe I'm wrong, but I need someone to verify that either way. Uh-oh, I'm seeing 3 hours. I'm losing.
Yeah,
Doug.
I do know that. It's 3 hours. Thank you, Lauren.
Darn it. I never win.
Yeah. Irregardless of that point.
Oh, yeah, I got Doug a couple. Dan Bob says 4. Thank you. Yeah, when I was talking to Doug a few days ago, and in the conversation, I used the word irregardless. And when we were done talking, Doug said, irregardless is not a word. And I wasn't sure because I make up a lot of words. So I was like, oh, all right, well, it's just part of my vernacular, but I'll try to make a mention not to use it again. And when I got home, I remembered and I Googled it, and it turns out it is a word, Charlie.
Charlie,
now, Doug, will you start using it?
Don't ask me to spell it, though.
Well, it's regardless with an IR in the front.
Yeah, if you can spell regardless, it's pretty easy from that point. So once in a while, chalk one up for the QH. Let's see what else we got. I think there's only a few more of these. This one from Donna 7873. Jason, I look forward to the group shot at the beginning of the episode with all the swingers in there. I love doing that too, Donna. It doesn't always work out because what we try to do is when we get to a spot, we don't know if we're even going to have a video. We don't know if it's going to be any good. So we kind of start detecting and we separate a little bit.
Yeah.
And then once we find 4 or 5 things and I say, all right, well, we got the workings of a video. Let's come together and I'll film the intro then. So there's a little behind the scenes. So some videos, we're finding so much stuff that I forget to say, let's all come together and do an intro. And I wind up filming one in my backyard, and you guys see that a lot. Also, if I do a 2-part, or in this case, a 3-part, I only filmed one intro. So when I bring up the second part, I do the backyard intro, and I do what I really enjoy is a quick recap of what happened last week to help everyone remember, set the scene of why it's 2 parts, all the stuff we found. So on a 2-part or more video, you're usually only going to get the one intro. Next week will be a new spot and a great spot, and you'll have your intro of all the swingers that were there. That sound about right, Doug? Is that kind of how it works?
Yes, absolutely.
Lynn, you're part of that. That's how we operate, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Sometimes you just forget, or people are too scattered, or it starts to rain or whatever, and you don't get one.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, I can be a real burden on the guys because they want to detect, and I'm like, everyone come over. I got to do the intro, and they'll all come over.
And then
And
there's
then an hour later, I'll be like, can everyone come over so we could do a thumbnail? It takes like a half an hour. So, the guys really put up with a lot from me, and I appreciate it, but I want it to look as good as it can.
And Lynn, tell him, does he always tell to get on his knees?
Dog tag Doug.
Yeah.
Well, each week I have an epiphany. I say, all right, Doug, here's a thumbnail I'm envisioning. You're laying on the ground looking in a hole. Charlie's standing up behind you doing I call it the holy S face. I won't say it. That face. Lynn, you're going to stand over here. So the thumbnail, isn't always, a live action shot. It's a representation of the overall feel of that day. You follow what I'm saying?
Well, you try to make it interesting and attract attention too.
Well, I mean, I want it to be fun. I like it to look, listen, metal detecting is like golf. It's not always the most exciting thing to watch on TV. So you got to try to find ways to make it,
spice it up,
make it watchable, as I like to say. And that's my take on how to do it. I'm sure it's not the only way. I always say Brad Martin, who I respect a lot, he makes his interesting in a whole different way than what we do, just a different take on it. But you got to try to find something outside of just, here's my victory nickel. Look how pretty it is. Let's see what else we got, Doug. I think there's only like 2 or 3 more, and then we'll go on to game number 1. Oh, here's a little clip, Doug, I thought might be funny. Jean Marie 5 says, I can't wait till Thursday. Thank you, Jean. I love the last house you were at, which was this one. I'd love to look inside at the old fireplaces. So I'm going to play a little clip real quick. There's no sound in the clip. I'm just showing that Doug and I did go inside, take a tour of the place, and let's take a look what's up the stairs.
Yeah, I think you were heading to the bathroom.
I was. That's why I cut it off.
I was going to say, this stairway's looking familiar to me.
Well, and John Katz did the same thing. You should do tours of these historic homes. And you're right. Listen, we very often get tours of the inside. The people that we get permissions to, and it's usually Doug setting the groundwork. Usually Doug's the first knocker, or Charlie sets the tone. When we arrive, I like to think we're all very friendly. So they almost always offer a tour of the house. But I kind of feel like, look, they're already letting 7 strangers tromp around their yard all day, making a big scene with the cameras and all the nonsense. And then for me to film inside their house might be pushing the boundaries sometimes. So even though I get a tour, I might be invading that personal space, asking to film inside. Now, I have in the past. That's how I met Lynn. We filmed the inside of her whole house.
And I had no idea you were going to do that.
No. And it just turns out it worked out great.
Yeah.
So you're right. I would love to show more of the inside. I kind of have to feel the homeowner out. I don't want to overstep and pull out my camera inside their house. But if I think they're kind of cool with it, I was contacted today. I was telling Doug, I don't know if I told you guys yet, someone reached out for us to detect their property. They have some incredibly historic properties, but they knew who we were. So that's easier to say, can I film inside? So if the opportunity is there, I will try to add more of that. The opportunity is just not always there.
Yeah, you can't ask them if they volunteer and you say, do you mind if I video this for the channel? They'll either tell you yes or no, but they're very proud of their property and often like to show it off.
Yeah, no, I agree. They're we have an incredible, we get a lot of, I get a lot of emails from people all over the country that'll say something along the lines of, I don't know how you guys do it. Nobody around here gives permission. And I really think it's your attitude on knocking on the door. Like Doug and Charlie are very gifted verbally. When they come to your house, even if you are going to say no, you're going to hear them out because they're friendly, they're inviting, they're well-spoken. You're going to give them that respect. And they often get a yes. They do get a no sometimes, but they never get the get off my property, slam the door in your face. No.
Right.
They'll get a polite no.
Right.
And if you get a polite no, you politely say, well, thank you for your time. Maybe in the future, leave them with a good impression, regardless, yes or no. Am I hitting the nail, Doug?
Yes. And
Hey, Doug, how about the time he knocked on the door? You and I did it together. We got the permission. Guy said, well, I have to leave now for the weekend.
yeah, Charlie, we didn't even have to knock on the door. He was out in his, he was planting a tree. So
right.
we went up to him and we talked, 15 minutes with him, Charlie, just shooting the breeze. And then he said, yeah, go ahead. You can hunt in the yard. Beautiful old stone house. Then he tells us, well, I'm heading off to Connecticut. Have fun.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? I mean,
and you know what's even funnier, Doug? We were detecting the son's farm before that.
and he said,
And we saw the old house. We said to the son, hey, you think we could detect your dad's house? And the guy said, well,
No.
good luck. He's probably going to, like, he made it seem like his dad was a mean old miser.
yeah,
He was the nicest guy in the world.
absolutely. And then to just give us free reign of the yard and off to Connecticut he went. So,
Well, and that's what it goes to show you. If you're having a hard time getting permissions and everyone's saying no, and you're thinking everyone in my area is a mean SOB, look in the mirror and think, like, what can I do different to make a better first impression?
right.
Because you're selling yourself almost as much as the metal detecting. And that's why Doug and Charlie shine. Doug was a salesman for what, like 87 years, Doug?
About that, yeah.
He knows what to say, what not to say, and they will always hear him out. And people, including myself, instantly like him from Jump Street.
Incidentally, this house, and the same day I got that permission, she brought me right in, showed me the downstairs. I went from their house right down the road, another old house, went in, and the lady said, yeah, come and look around. Gave me a whole tour of the house. As a matter of fact, she had some roofing issues, and a roofer came in. She was showing him the problem. She said, just go ahead, walk around the house, take a look, see what you think. So,
Yeah, so many things. I can't tell you how many times people said to us, we're total strangers in their yard, but they would say, like, I got to go out for a few hours. I'll leave the back door open in case you have to go to the bathroom.
yeah.
And we always say, listen, thank you very much, but please lock it, because God forbid anything happens, we don't want to be on the short list of suspects. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But I'm really, that's one of the more proud things, is that we come off as very trustworthy. And I like to think we are very trustworthy.
We are.
We might have some goofy shenanigans and maybe we are goofballs a little bit, but we are very trustworthy. We will watch the house. We will stay in the areas you say to stay in. And I think people can read that from us, or at least that's the impression I'm getting, because they've been nothing but gracious to us. And I'm not talking one or two or three. I'm talking probably hundreds of houses at this point.
We've been together for over 6 years, and I would say 90% of the permissions that we get on, the people have been that nice.
Very. And I'm still friends with many of them on Facebook.
Exactly.
We communicate still. Like, I really try to make it special for them too, and just have a good time.
Right.
All right, let's keep going. I got a couple more. It's almost been an hour. I didn't even get through this part yet. I still got 3 games, Doug.
Way to go.
Time management. I'm not good at that. What is this? Oh, JDig's History says, I have to teach Thursday, so I'm going to have to watch in the rerun. Oh, I just put up a slide that I am making the live shows available for replay. So if you click on the channel, they are in there. You could watch it. They're still fun. I think it's more fun if you're in there live, but they're still fun. But thank you, Jay. I appreciate you checking it out.
Tony Rags, just to go back to the permission thing, he says, how do you approach the situation of asking for permission? The most important thing, I think, is if you are clean cut and you have a background in history, and I highly recommend you associate yourself with a historic association so you can pull that out of your hat and say, look, I'm a member of such and such. I'm into history. I love your property and the age of the property. And I'd love to see if I could find some relics on your property. I'm happy to share them with you. You approach it in that manner. People are usually pretty gracious. You can answer their questions as they ask you, about liability and things of that nature. Things are going to come up that could be a no for you, but be prepared for that and give them the appropriate answer. Don't bring up anything unless they do. That's what a good salesman will do. Let them talk from that point on. And you'll be surprised how many good old properties you can get on.
Shroom Day, thank you very much, 0017. And look in the chat, Kay in Maine is there.
Yes.
And she said Quarter Hoarder and crew are fine with homeowners taking their fines. You're right. At this point, we've been doing it so long. We have so many things in our collections. If a great spot comes up and they say, we want everything, we would all do it for the opportunity of detecting the great spot. Now, early in your detecting career, maybe that's a hard pill to swallow because you want the stuff. And I get it. There's no right or wrong answer. But from our perspective, we want the opportunity to detect it. What's one more Indian to the 700 Indian pennies we have? What's one more button to the 7,000? It's important to bring it out of the ground, but if that item's going to give the property owner joy and allow us to find it, hey, that's a no-brainer. We're there. We've hunted historical societies and given them everything, houses and given them everything. Throughout the year, we're going to get plenty of our own stuff, but if they want everything, we don't really have an issue with that. It doesn't really matter.
Right. And everything at that house, pretty much everything we gave to the property owner.
And they didn't even ask for it.
And
we
they didn't
offered
even
it
ask
to them
for it.
because it's not like they said, yeah, you can detect it, but I want everything.
Even my walker.
Yeah, we just gave them everything.
I've got so many of them.
Yeah. All right, let's move on, Doug. You're going super long. Michelle Reed said Rich isn't here, but Richard was so funny running into you today. I hope you found your friend. What's funny, Doug, is that I remember a comment in a video a few weeks back that Michelle Reed said where she bumped into you and Rich.
Both.
What is she, your neighbor?
She's not far from us. And Rich and I both shop at Giant Food Store. We both happened to be in at the same time. We ran into each other before we ran into her. And then we all kind of converged. And she came up to me, and I had never seen her before. So I didn't know who she was until she identified herself. But I have communicated through the comment format. Oh. But she said, "Dog tag Doug, how are you?"
Yeah, Doug, you're a big celebrity. You don't have people to do your food shopping for you?
Yeah. Rich is more recognizable than I look like every other 75-year-old Irish guy. So.
You're not 75 yet.
I'm getting close.
All right. I saw, real quick before I go to the next one, Digging Paul's Detecting. I saw Amanda Digger DeGaz in the chat, yep. Practical Ken, Gene Diggs History. I will get more into the chat as we go along. Let me just get through this first part of the show. We don't have an end time for the show. And because I'm moving it to every 2 weeks, there's a chance we might go long. If you want to leave, you guys, don't feel obligated.
One thing I like about Digger DeGaz, when we go see her at the events, she's always got a grab bag you can reach into. And
I pulled some incredible things from that bag.
You always get lucky there. I get a token or.
Hey, be happy you got anything. She pays for that herself.
I know.
Amanda goes around with like a duffel, like a burlap bag.
Yeah. With
little goodie bags in there to everyone that attends the events, and you reach in, and every bag has like some of her stickers. She has a podcast, so it's got some promo for a podcast. There's usually a coin or a token. Now, I've had some events where I pulled an Indian penny. I'd had some where I pulled a token. But when we were in Digstock in New York, or some event, I forget, maybe not that one, I pulled out a cap bust dime.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe, like, you'd think like there were some shenanigans going on that I got the best thing in the bag. There's like hundreds of things in that bag, and you know, you're blindfolded. But that's what I'm talking about the camaraderie. Like for her to pick up the expense and the time to put that together for nothing in return. Another great person. So Digger to guys, big shout out to you.
Yep.
Her podcast is called Treasure Vortex, Doug. So
Right.
make sure you check it out. She does it with Gypsy Jules. I believe she
Yes.
still does it with Gypsy. All right, let me see what else we got.
Be nice to see Gypsy on the chat one night.
I'll bring some guests in soon. I'm just trying to, like I said, figure out what the show's going to be. Madeline Rose said, be nice to hear from each member of the group on how they began detecting and their top 5 finds. We will do that, Doug, maybe in another one, because we'll
Right.
never get through this part of the show if we're giving our life story.
Right.
But that's a good idea, Madeline. Thank you for the tip. That'll be coming forward. For the questions that didn't have anything to do with this video, I just put up a generic picture. You know what I mean?
That's a good looking group of guys.
I know. I love that picture. You didn't even know I took that, Doug.
I know where
Greg
that
Allen
is.
says, what an awesome permission, fellas. Sad to see it end. Ready for spring. And he wants to see a whole bunch of Doug's What's in the Clumps. That's a real favorite of mine. You know, when you're detecting and the ground is clayey or thick, sometimes you'll have a ball of dirt and you know there's a target in there. And like, we'll get together and you break it in half and one side has the item, so you hold it against a pinpointer. Then you take that side, you break it, and you keep whittling it down.
Yeah.
And the excitement of what's in the clump. Sometimes it's a button, sometimes it's a smushed Coke can.
Yeah. I suspect tomorrow we'll have a lot of clumps.
That's an awesome photo too, Doug. The sunlight coming in.
Yeah.
If you want that, I'll sell it to you because I own the copyright on it.
That's okay. I got a couple like that already.
Okay. And I think Teresa the Treasure Hunter, another great video. Thank you. Love the millstone. That was an awesome millstone.
That was so cool.
And again, you know, one of my favorite. I love the thumbnail. And I think there's only one left, if I recall. Yeah, here it is. This was an email, Doug, and this is fascinating. I want everyone to pay attention to this. I'm going to paraphrase the email, but this is from Ron and Julie. I grayed out their email and their last name. I'm just going to jump to the bottom. It says, I can't read it. It says, I don't know if you're familiar with Blatt's beer, but my husband came across this guy who strongly resembles someone you know pretty well. I want you to take a look at this, Doug, and see if you can figure out who it resembles. Are you ready?
Yep.
That statue
Yeah.
is from the 1950s. It was a 17-inch tall, so not little, like marionette statue to promote Blatt's beer. And who does that Blatt's beer SOB look like, Doug?
It kind of resembles me. Hey,
I showed my wife.
I was born 1950.
You don't have to tell me. Come on, what are you talking about?
Okay.
I showed Chrissy, my wife, that photo, and she's going to make a puppet of you in the Blatt's beer keg shirt.
Oh, that
I'm going to hang up in my living room.
Oh, you're not going to give it to me?
I went on eBay and I thought, oh, I'm going to buy that puppet to give it to Doug because it's super cool. Do you know how much that puppet costs now on eBay?
I got to believe it's hundreds of dollars.
$700.
Yes.
But I mean, if that's not the spitting image of a miniature dog tag Doug,
Well,
I don't know what is.
I wouldn't say spitting, but we could be related.
No, that's spot on. So
Yeah.
I think that's the last of the images, and we're going to get into some of the games. Let me just make sure.
You'll have to get me a skimmer like that too, Jay.
Let me think. I'm going to remove that just in case there's another clip next that goes into the game I don't want you to see. So I'm going to, okay, that was the last one. So we're going to queue it up. I think we're going to do one of the first games, Doug. We have a few games on the docket, so to speak. And this is one of the things that take the stream so long is I wanted to try to come up with games that are unique, you've never seen before, that are fun, that include the people in the live chat. So that's what we're going to bring up. So I'm queuing one up now. This is a brand new game.
Thank you, Joe.
This is so stupid. All right, so I'm bringing up the game. Let me do a couple quick hellos. I see John Lennon in the chat. I don't think it's the original John Lennon, but John Lennon. Hurricane Alley Relic Rescue Team, Ohio Metal Maven, Grandpa Hoover, William Stewart, Hillbilly Outdoors. Smokin' Louie is in the chat. Answer Victory Nickel. Smokin' Louie, I said earlier, I don't know if you just got here, put your zip code in the chat. And if you email me your address and the zip codes match, I'll send you a prize anyway, even though I still think Victory Nickel was a wrong answer. I'm going to give it to you anyway because I feel bad. All right, Doug, here's the game. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Now, I'm calling this game Get Off My Head.
Why is that?
It's so stupid. All right. What I'm going to do is you're going to keep your eyes on the screen.
Okay.
Rich is going to be jumping all around the screen, and something is going to fly across. The first person that can name in the chat what it was wins. Now, it's going to, I have it run 3 times, and I'm going to run it all the way through. The first one is going to go really fast. So if you're good enough to catch it, you might get a jump and win. The second one will go a little slower, and then the third one even slower. That's what it's going to be. So keep your eyes on the screen. Oh, I'm going to send out the winner is going to get a Quarter Hoarder camo hat, some stickers, and I don't have one, but Doug and I have these like autographed photos that we give out at shows. And I don't want to pretend like everyone wants a signed photo, but I'll throw it in anyway. You can throw darts at it if you want. I don't care, but I'm throwing it in with the Quarter Hoarder hat. So everybody get ready. Here we go. I'm going to play it through 3 times in full screen. So I'm going to get rid of us. Let me see how, there we go. All right, get your fingers ready, guys. And here we go. Doug, you guys can play along too.
Okay. All right.
Get off my head. So stupid.
You're right.
Oh, what was it, Doug?
I know.
Don't you type it, Doug. Don't you type it. I'm looking for the answer. I'm looking for it. Here it comes again. Get ready, guys. Get ready. Little slower. Whoa, get off my head.
That's too easy.
Get off my head. All right, one more. I think I saw
We have a winner.
I'm scrolling back. I saw the right answer.
We have a winner. T.M. Murphy. T.M. Murphy.
All right, there it is. Super slow-mo.
We had a winner.
Yeah. No, I'm looking, Doug, to confirm.
T.M. Murphy. T.M.
Well,
Murphy.
I'm not sure if that's correct. I'm going through and I see a different winner that got it.
Well, T.M. Murphy was the first.
I'm showing a different first one. If I can have my moderators help out, I'm showing a different person, but I could be wrong. I'm going back through them all. I'm going back through. All right, I see who I think it is. If I have any help from the moderators, yes, Wicked Digger, you're confirming who I saw. Nailed it. Detecting was the first one I saw. I had to scroll back quite a ways. I'm going to, oh, crap.
What are you
What?
doing? What are you doing?
Darn it. I forgot to pause it and the next game came up. Darn it. I'm such a rookie. Well, let me get rid of this. I blew it, Lynn. I blew it.
You didn't go too far.
All right, so I'm going to check it out. I think it was Nailed It Detecting. Yeah, Chris verified it. That's who I saw also. Practical Ken confirming it. Yes. So Nailed It Detecting. You nailed it, my friend. Now, because you don't have a real name, you have to put your zip code in the chat and then email me, quarterhoarder@yahoo.com. And as long as the email matches the zip code in the chat, I will send you out the official Quarter Hoarder hat, along with the stickers and whatever else I said, Doug. I don't remember.
And just to clarify, some people put in Walker, a Walking Liberty. It is different. The SLQs, the Standing Liberty Quarter, the Walker was a $50. The Walking Liberty $50. They are different, but what you showed is an SLQ.
Yeah, SLQ, Standing Liberty Quarter. And Nailed It Detecting got it on the first flyby. Did anyone else, honestly now, because you don't win anything,
Me.
did anybody else get it on the first flyby? My wife said, "You're nuts." No one, it went by literally in 1/3 of a second.
I got it.
No, you did not.
I
You have
most
your
certainly
glasses on.
did. You told me not to send it.
You
So
don't
I
have your
did.
glasses on. You really recognized it?
Absolutely.
Oh, look, I'm seeing a lot of people said they got it. Wow, look, that's impressive. You know what that means, Doug? If I play this game again, it's going to go by in 1/10 of a second.
Yeah, you got to do it fast. Don't do it slow. That's too easy.
All right. Well, let me get rid of this because I'm going to queue up the next game. That was, what did I call it? What's on my head?
Get off my head.
I got to find better names, but I thought it was pretty funny. I'm going to queue up the next game, which I already ruined.
Charlie, you knew what it was, right?
Yeah.
Charlie, you got it on the first pass by.
Yeah. Yes, I did.
Son of a gun. All right. Well, Show Me Treasure says should have been faster, Jay. I guess so. I thought the first time was so fast that everyone would be like, come on, you jerk. And then I slowed it down. But apparently everyone's like, is that all you got?
Yeah. Is that the best you can do?
All right. So game number 2, Doug, I'm going to bring it up now. And I kind of already ruined it. Game number 2 will also be for a Quarter Hoarder hat, which I'm giving away for free. And I gave it last time too, Doug. Cheap plug. I ordered 100 hats. I said way back months ago, they finally came in. Normally they were $25. If anybody wants one, they're $20 if you watch it from the live stream. I sold almost 30 of them, which is great. I got to keep 3 aside for the games, and I'll order more. If anybody wants one, quarterhoarder@yahoo.com, you can pick one up, and you'll look just like me. Minus the glasses. These are patent pending.
Yes.
All right, here we go. Are you guys ready? This is the next game, which kind of already got ruined a little bit. And Doug, you know what I call this game?
Yeah, get your hand off of my, you know what?
Hold on, I got all sorts of things coming up. I call it Guess Lynn's Thing.
Oh, okay.
That's what I call it. Now, how the game works is Lynn was nice enough to photograph something from her awesome collection, which everyone is probably familiar with at this time, antiques expert. So I'm going to put it up on the screen. First person that can guess what it is going to win a hat. Let me start it now since I already showed it accidentally, I think. Let's see what we get. First person that guesses it, guess Lynn's Thing. Here we go. I brought up full screen. Not the spoon. The spoon is just for it's just for
scale.
For scale, thank you. I see a correct answer already, Lynn.
Lynn, is that a pewter spoon, Lynn?
It is.
Yes.
It's a tablespoon. It's a big spoon.
Yeah.
Let me pause it. So, all right, well, there was the clue. I wanted to pause it before the clue, but somebody got it anyway. So I'm going to play it through. The answer I saw, and I'll need my moderators to help, I believe it was Matthew B. 1963. What it is a pipe kiln. You would get your smoking pipe. Lynn, you explain the story of what a pipe kiln is and what it's used for.
Well, first of all, I'll give a little background about how the whole craze pipe smoking thing got started. It actually started in America with Sir Walter Raleigh, who was over here, and he picked up the habit from the natives, and he took it back to England, where it kind of went crazy over there. England started growing tobacco. I think it was King James at the time during the 1600s who was not favorable of it, and he was burning all their crops. But it kind of took off, and pretty soon there was every town and city in England had pipe makers. So they started importing the pipes to the colonies, which is, why we find pieces over here. I have found several pieces in our yard over the years. This was a Quaker tenant farmhouse. I guess they did a lot of smoking. I found a lot on the digs that we've been on, just surface hunting. And to date them a little bit, you have a chart there somewhere.
Yeah, I have a slide. I'll bring up
Yeah.
this slide.
The bowls changed shape from the 1600s up into the 1800s. And strangely enough, the bowls got larger because it became so popular, and a larger bowl held more tobacco. But the holes in the pipe actually got smaller as they got newer. So it is a way to date them by looking at the angle of the bowl and the hole in it. So anyway, the pipe kiln, the pipes were really popular in the taverns, and they evidently had some there for patrons to use when they went to the tavern. And every night they would wash them, and to dry them, they would put them in one of these pipe kilns near the fire, or they would hang it on the crane in the big fireplace to dry them. And then they're ready for the guys to come in the next night.
I'm going to go back again, Lynn, just so I can show it so people can see it. Now, Lynn said that we all find pieces of these broken pipe stems. I don't think I've ever found one, but Lynn's found a ton of them. And I'm sorry, Lynn, I was doing a bunch of different things when you were talking, but I think she said, in a tavern, they would all share that pipe and break that little piece off the end. That way they're not swapping spit.
I've heard that, and I wondered if that's why we find so many little pieces. But then again, if they kept breaking pieces off, there wouldn't be any pipe left, and they wouldn't have to wash them at night. So I'm not sure how true that is.
Well, that's what I had always heard, is that's why they were so long.
Right.
They were made long to purposely break off pieces, because it's still going to work the same whether it's this long or this long. And probably they would break a piece off, but still wash it and dry it. Eventually, when it got too small from breaking it off, you'd throw it away and get another one, because they're like 15 inches long.
Right. Oh, if not more. And those pieces there laying in front of in the picture, they were all from our yard. And Rich found several when he was a little kid out around his swing, and he had a tire swing in the yard and used to kick them up all the time under that.
Well, that's an awesome one. And I'll bring up the next slide because I did go back.
Hey, Lynn, when we were in England, we did some mudlarking under the Tower Bridge.
Oh, yeah.
KK, Teresa, and I, we found a lot of pieces of the pipes that you have there. It was phenomenal, the number of pieces that we found, up on the side of the river there. It was crazy.
Well, the one picture that Jay has of the actual, not the little pieces, because they were found here, but the picture he has of the pipes, they were actually from the Thames in London.
Okay, that's where we were. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we found a lot of pieces.
Yeah, there's a few mudlarking YouTube channels that I've seen in the past. Sci-Finds.
Yeah.
And
Nicola White,
yeah,
who they mudlark on the Thames all the time, and they've probably got thousands of old clay pipe pieces.
Right.
It's another thing like the 3-ring bullet, that it might just seem like an innocent little piece of junk, but I'm always hoping to find just a little piece of one.
Right.
And Lynn was nice enough to put this little chart together on the right to show some of the different styles throughout the ages. And then the thing on the left, I show like what they call the individual pieces of the pipe, like the spur, the heel, I always find that stuff interesting. So successful. What did I call the game? Yes, Lynn's thing. And the winner was, crap. I don't remember.
Um,
Whoever I said won, Michael B or something. Make sure your zip code is in the chat and email me. I'm going to go back when the show's over and I'll go through and make sure I got it in the moment. I got a terrible memory, Doug.
I think these are too easy. I'm going to have to get tougher with them.
Well, I told you, Lynn, I like to think that the audience is very knowledgeable. I don't know where Charlie went.
They are.
Charlie, you might have dropped. I'm going up. There he is. There he is. That's a good angle, Charlie.
There you go.
My alarm went off for my my medication.
Oh, okay. Do you need to take it, Charlie?
I have it right here.
Okay. I'm going to bring up the next game. I've got one last game we'll play, and then I think we would wrap for a little bit in the chat. You know, I like goofy games, Doug. You know that.
Yes.
And I spent way too much time making them, so I'm playing the darn things. So let me real quick in the chat. Anybody I didn't mention earlier on the mark, Margaret Furjet, and I apologize if I mispronounce people's names. Melissa Wade, Joan Troyer, Brandon Jack. I'm sorry, man. Love that beep. That's a cool one. The Rando Channel, Jim Hunt, Free Bridge Metal Detecting, who's hitting the bathroom. Thanks. I just announced it to everybody. There's 573 people hanging with us still an hour and 15 minutes in. So thank you guys for spending a lazy Thursday with us. Lauren Windell, Gene Diggs History, I think I got it earlier. Joseph Paquin, Charles Broussard, Iron Coil Couple, Martin Conciero. Oh, I love when my mouth can make that Sierra. Like I feel like I'm more worldly. Depth Spader, Big Wave, Digging Life. So many names I see from the comments. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out and just kind of chilling with us today. Before I get to the last game, Doug, is there anything you'd like to announce or talk about? Because you know I've kind of monopolized the vocal part.
Well, why don't we ask Charlie first? He's been sitting there quietly. Let him get a word in edgewise now that he has an opportunity.
Well, I just have been enjoying being with you all. The permission we've been at this past month, I would say, it's been so enjoyable, and the finds have been so incredible. And I want to thank all you guys for bringing me there, so to speak.
Oh, it's going to be exciting. We're going back tomorrow. It'll be our maybe seventh trip back this year. And I won't say any spoilers, but I will say it's the Cobb field from last year where we found 4 silver cobs back last I guess it was last March.
Yeah.
Waited all summer, waited through. They finally, soybeans, they don't pick them suckers till like December around here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then you got to wait till hunting season because hunters use the same land. We finally got back on, and in 6 or 7 trips so far, incredible bucket list finds every single time out there. It's going to be a real treat to edit these videos. Some of the things are just jaw-dropping.
Yep.
So I'm really excited about that. The farm fields, farm fields can be hit or miss sometimes where, you hunt around a house, you're usually always going to find a lot of stuff, even if it's newer, because there's just so much activity. A farm field can be real hit or miss. You might find nothing, or you might find a lot of stuff. And we've not found a lot of stuff, but everything is 200, 300, 400, 500 years old.
It's a bit of drive. It's a long drive for me, but I don't mind it. Last time I was down, we had that snow, and I was slipping and sliding coming home, so I got new tires. Yesterday, I got new tires.
Wow.
Good. Well, we don't mind you making the long drives, Charlie.
All the snow is gone. It's funny, Doug. Last week when you were away,
yes,
we didn't go detecting the first time in 2 years or so because there was 7 inches of snow got dumped on us.
Yeah.
Only 6 days ago, 5 days ago.
Yeah.
Fast forward to today. Today was 57 degrees. Tomorrow's going to be 64 degrees.
Yeah.
I was debating on wearing shorts tomorrow
Go
when
ahead.
we had to skip 4 days ago from the snow. How weird is that?
It's weird. The only snow we have now is the snow that's been piled up by a plow and is a little slower to melt. But for the most part, it's gone,
Yeah. Well,
which we love.
all right, let's get into the last game and then we'll do some more talk. We've been going an hour and 20 minutes. Still a lot of people here, 570 I'm seeing. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. Let me bring up the game and explain it. All right, here's the game, Doug. I don't know how I'm going to do a prize on this game. So what I might do is, I don't know, maybe the last one.
Hey, Jay.
Yo.
Jay, my friend, new friend, just put in the chat that it was cold down there. Mr. Mosley, he's a Terry Mosley. He's a professor and a big history buff who was volunteering with us at the old plantation. He just put a little post in the chat, and he mentioned how cold it was down there. Didn't have any snow, but it was cold. But
yeah, it was really cold up here too. Well, what was his name again, Doug? I'm sorry.
Terry Mosley. He's a professor.
Terry Mosley.
He's a professor and a history buff, and he says he's a big fan of the channel. I promised to send him a autographed picture, which we'll get out to him real quick.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. I need to get some pictures of more of us. I only have the one of me and you. I need to get one of the group.
Yeah, we got.
It's just hard to get us together.
Yep.
All right, here's the game, Doug. The first couple, there's going to be 9 mini games. The first 8 are just going to be for bragging rights. I'm not giving away 30,000 hats. The last one, number 9, will be for a hat. All right, is that fair?
Sure.
I didn't think it through. All right. So here's it is. I forget what I called this game. I'm going to play it until I remember the name, and then I'll pause it again.
I don't remember this house, Jay.
Oh, that's right. I'm calling this game Us or Them.
Or U.S. Or
Well,
them.
you notice the us is capital.
Yeah.
You notice that, Charlie?
Yes.
Charlie has no idea that I'm even here still. Charlie fell asleep 20 minutes ago.
Did we wake you up, Charlie?
Us or them. I'm ready.
All right, so here's how the game's going to work, Doug. And again, I'm just throwing stuff against the wall. Let's see if it's fun.
Okay.
All right, us or them. All right, so what I did, Doug,
Jason.
I grabbed 2 coins. One will be an American coin. One is not an American coin. I photoshopped all of the text and dates off, so you just have the image. You're going to tell me left or right which one's the American coin. Now, the example, I tried to put a real easy one that even you guys would know. Lynn, since you detect the least, which one of those is the American coin?
The left.
The left. Doug, do you confer?
The left is the American, yes.
Charlie, are you?
I agree.
Of course it is. Okay, so that's going to be the game. I'm looking through the chat. Everybody's saying left. Once the game plays through, I'll put up the actual. I keep doing that. Hold on. Let me make sure it's paused. That's what I'll put up afterwards. That way you guys can see I'm not lying. Now, I picked coins that are going to be challenging, Doug. So to try to make it a little harder for everybody out there. So I'm going to put up the first one. I'm going to let people put their answers in. Then I'll reach out to you 3, try to get your answer, and then I'll reveal the final answer. Now, these first 8 are just for fun. So you're not playing for, anything other than bragging rights.
Okay.
All right. And I have an answer chart over here I will look at. Are you ready, Doug?
Go ahead.
All right. The game was called whatever I called it.
Us or them.
Us or them. Thank you. All right, here we go. I'm going to pause it as we go. In fact, I'm going to bring it up full screen, Doug, so they can see it. Here we go. All right, there's number one. Don't answer yet. Give the chat people a chance. I see left. I see right, left, them, middle. Come on, guys. I see right, left. Well, it's kind of 50-50. I'm seeing more lefts come in right. Tyler Yoska says right. Samuel Wells saying right. Doug, don't you cheat.
I'm
Don't
not
you
saying
Google it.
anything.
Turd Ferguson said victory nickel. All right, Doug. Now, Doug, I'll let you go first. Which one do you think is the American coin? Which is us?
Left.
Left. Charlie, what do you think? Which is us, left or right?
I would say us is right because they're wearing Levi jeans.
You're going with right?
Yeah, they're wearing Levi jeans, those two guys.
Lynn, what are you going with?
I think left.
Left? All right. Doug, what did you say? I'm sorry.
I said left.
All right. Doug and Lynn said left. Charlie said right. Let's see the answer. Oh, the right, it is a 1920 sesquicentennial Maine $50. And the left is a Dominican Republic 25 Gramus.
Oh.
Well, I was living in Dominican Republic then, so I considered it.
Oh, that was us in your mind.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. So that was the game so far. Now, and listen, I'm thinking about it. When I call it us or them, I'm not trying to create any mean dynamic between us and the Dominican. It's just a funny name.
All right. I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
What country borders Dominican Republic?
I don't even know where it is. I thought it's
Haiti.
Cuba?
No.
Haiti.
No.
I don't know.
Puerto Rico.
All right, good one. All right, here we go. Number two, everybody. Everybody get ready. I want to see their answers first. I'll give them a chance. I'll announce some people's guesses, and then I'll cut to you guys. Here we go. Let me make it full screen. There's number two. You guys start thinking about it. All right, I'm looking in the chat. Laura Giuliano says U.S. is right. Scott Kerry, right. 717 detector left. Joey, it's going by kind of fast, said left. Dropped and forgotten, said left. Again, I'm seeing a mix. I picked some tough ones here, didn't I, Doug?
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of them. Dan Bob, right. Kitty Lobo, left. Nancy
I'm only going to be
Eaton, right.
I have no idea.
Mud Swat. All right, let me bring us back in. All right, I gave them a chance. They're still coming in. Rick Ayer, right. Nick Stewart, I think he said right. I could be wrong. Jeff Prost left. Lynn, I'll go to you first on this one.
God.
Which one is the U.S. coin, Lynn?
It's a complete guess. I'm going to stick with the left, I guess.
The left? All right, good guess. Charlie, I'll go to you second this time.
I would say left because I wouldn't think that a U.S. coin would have a husband and wife on a coin.
Okay, that's a good one.
Left.
Doug, I got two left so far. Are you going to stick with them or go out on your own?
No, I'm going to say right.
You're going to say right.
Yeah.
All right, they're still coming in here. Gloria left.
And
Big
that's
Wave,
a guess.
Digging Life left. Jason Alexander left. Let's see what we got. Here we go. It was the right. Doug got it.
Oh, geez.
The right, 1921 Alabama sesquicentennial $50. The one on the left, a 1972 East Germany 10 marks.
Wow.
What do you think of the game, Doug?
I like it.
Took me 7 hours to create the game.
That's why we're going to do this every 2 weeks.
That's why there was a crappy thumbnail on Tuesday.
Yeah. Well, now I can understand the East German 72. That was before the Berlin Wall came down.
Yeah.
And that would have been under the communist influence, and you see kind of like the workers' movement pictured on there. So that makes sense.
Never
the one on
seen
the-
any of these.
I don't even know who the guys are on the right. Maybe like two politicians or something. I don't know. Maybe.
Oh,
Well, it
it's
looks
not
like a
husband
guy and
wife.
a girl.
It's like
Oh, is it a girl?
I don't know.
You'd think I would have wrote that information down, Doug, but listen,
would
I'm half
think.
prepared. All right, we're going to go to number 3. Are you ready, Doug?
Yes.
I'm making it full screen. Don't forget, the viewers get first guess. So no one, Doug, don't belt out the answer.
I'm not.
Oh, I know. You won't even know it.
Okay.
All right, there's number 3. Let's look it over, everybody. I'm waiting for the answers to come in. Margaret Furjet, first on the block, says left. Fred Auermuller, I think, said left. I couldn't see it. Don York, left. They're coming into it. Wicked Digger, the moderator, says right. Matt Freeze says left. Tyler Yoska, left. Tony Rags, left. Oh, a lot of lefts, Doug. A whole lot of lefts. I'd say it's probably 80% lefts coming in so far.
I kind of think I know what gives it away.
Me too, but let's let them get their answers in. I am seeing some rights. Alina Tilson said right. Mostly lefts down the block. Mostly lefts.
Yep.
All right, let's come back into the other screen.
Aunt Bob said the center.
Doug, I'll go to you first this time. Which one do you think it is and why?
Well, I go with the guy wearing what appears to be a coonskin cap, and that's on the left.
On the left. All right. Charlie, how about you?
I agree with what Dog Tag Doug just said.
Yeah.
Left coonskin cap.
Lynn?
Agreed. I thought it was a nightcap, but I think it is its coonskin cap.
A nightcap is what we'll have when the show's over.
Yeah.
We got to get early here to go detecting tomorrow too, Doug. Don't forget.
That's right.
Yeah, this one I kind of threw in as what I'm calling an easier one, but let's see if everyone is correct. And Lynn finally got one.
Yes.
The left is indeed the 1921 Missouri sesquicentennial $50. The one on the left, the 1895 Ecuador 2 Decimos. Doug, the guy on the right reminds me of Kramer from Seinfeld. What do you think about that?
He does.
Yeah.
Hairdo and nose, the perfect profile.
Now, not that I know the answer to this, Doug,
Okay.
but do you know where Ecuador is since you hit me with the Dominican question?
Yeah, it's in South America.
That's right. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I know
Right.
it. They were on the news tonight. They're having all kinds of problems with gangsters and what have you.
Well, they
Wow.
also make baby food with lead in it.
They
Oh,
do.
okay.
Wow. I didn't know
What?
that.
Yeah, that baby food came from Ecuador.
Wow.
That's on the news lately.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they don't import their baby food to us, do they?
It can't get in the country. It won't go through the metal detector.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. Shout out to metal detectors.
Yes.
All right, let's bring up full screen, Doug. We're going to go to number 4. Half Pint 1316 says he's 3 for 3. Liz, Diggin' Canuck is in the chat. How are you, Liz? But 3 for 3, that's impressive. I'll take your word for it, Half Pint. I'll go back and watch the chat later and see if you're lying or not. All right, here we go, Doug. Let me bring it up full screen. This is going to be number 4. Get ready. Here we go. All right, there's number 4. Nobody say anything, Doug. Don't give it away. Lynn, if you know it, keep it to yourself. I'm following the chat. Jason Alexander says right. Practical Ken, I think he said left. I couldn't see. Turd says left. That's not something I say very often, Doug. Turd says left. I'm seeing a lot of rights. I'm seeing a lot of I'm saying I think it's 90% left. Everybody's saying left. Jim Steele left. Depth Fader, I'm not sure what he said. Sluzen left. I can't even keep track. Dan Bob, I think he said center. Ski Searcher left. Sage Hawk left. Woody Bog left. All right, let's bring us back in here. Lynn, I will give you first crack at this one. Which one is the U.S. coin, Lynn?
Well, I have to say left. I just hope it's not a trick question.
All right, left. Doug, I'll go to you second. Which one is the U.S. coin?
I got to agree with Lynn. That looks too much like Lady Liberty with the sun coming up, almost like another coin that we know of. I'm just going to say left, and it's a guess.
Hey, you're with most of the chat. Charlie, what do you think, left or right?
You know, I'm focusing on left, but I have this feeling that the one on the right has something to do with Florida, the state of Florida. I'm going right.
Oh, Charlie against the grain, going out on his own, saying right. All right, let's see who got it. Lynn and Doug said left. Charlie says right. Good luck, everybody. Doug, if you're right, you do not win a hat.
Okay.
Oh, yep. Charlie is right. The one on the left is a 1914 French 1 franc. The one on the right, a 1924 Huguenot U.S.
Huguenot.
$half. I put that in to trick everybody.
Yeah.
Fooled my wife. Honestly, Doug, it would have fooled me. I saw a few people in the chat that did get it right, and they were bragging about it too. I was hoping you didn't notice, Doug.
Well,
Andrew T said he called it France. Practical Ken said he named the coin. I don't know if I can go back or not. But that was a tough one, wouldn't you say?
Charlie is a descendant of the Huguenots.
Yeah, my wife is a descendant of the Huguenot movement here in America.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And yet you thought it was something from Florida.
I don't know. That was me just taking a wild guess. But it's interesting that's a Huguenot because she, like I said, her family farm was a Huguenot settlement.
Yeah, I threw a couple trick ones in there. And, man, I saw that French coin when I was just Googling random coins. And I was like, holy cow, that looks like an American coin.
Yeah.
Well, half pint fell to 3 for 4, Doug. He was perfect.
Awesome.
Up until that. So sorry to throw a curveball at you, half pint, but that's the name of the game.
Hey, Jason, there was somebody that said it was a Huguenot coin.
Oh, I saw a few answers that came in that said they know it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some really good coin people out there. Like the U.S. coins that I'm putting up are coins we would never find. They're like commemoratives and things like that. So 90% of people or more, are just making a guess. But I saw a few pretty knowledgeable, numismatic people in the chat that I didn't fool them.
If people don't know what the Huguenots are, they should check it out, who they were.
What do you know about them, Charlie?
Well, I found a 1630 Huguenot coin near the family farm.
Oh, that's right. I do remember that.
Yeah, they were French Protestants, and they got chased out of France by Louis XVI, and they went to Holland, and from Holland they came to America then.
Okay. All right. All right, you want to try game number 5?
Sure.
No.
All right. Let me bring it up full screen. I don't want anyone to say we were distracting them by Doug's beautiful face. All right, here we go. I think it's number 5. Good luck, everybody. All right, there it is. Tough one. I'm going to watch the chat. Lynn, don't yell out the answer.
Oh, yeah.
Maxine Z says right. Brandon Jock, right. Michael, it's going by kind of fast. Jim or no Jim, I think it was his name. I'm sorry. Greg Ball, left. Dan Efron, right. Mud Swat, left. Crazy Diggin, left. Vonda, left. Turd says left. It looked like a guess. Robbie, left. Even though I'm yelling at all the lefts in the chat, I'm seeing a lot of rights too, but my eyes just can't focus on the people's names fast enough. I'll let a few more guesses come in. That way everyone feels like they participated. Orchid Lady is trying to guess the country, I guess. Danny Coco, right. Diggin, Kansas, right. Sleuthen, right. Neil's Crib, left. All right, it's almost 50-50 on this one. Let me bring it back up. Here we go, Doug. Who did I ask first last time? I don't want to seem like I'm picking favorites.
Me.
And
All
then
right, so,
me, and then Charlie. So go to Charlie first.
All right, Charlie, who do you think first, left or right? Which one is the U.S. coin?
This is a tough one.
Yeah.
It's a tough one, really. I want to think left, but the guy on the right seems like he's something with West Point, something World War One, some general. I don't know. I say right.
Right for Charlie. All right, that's a good guess. I like your thought process. Lynn, what do you think, left or right?
I think I have to agree because I think the guy on the left is supposed to look like a colonial guy, which I think it's a trick question again. So I'm going to go with right.
You're going to go with right also. Two rights.
Just as a guess.
Doug, do two rights make a wrong, or are you going to add to the two rights?
Now, 3 rights make a right.
3 rights make a right. So everyone going for right from our crew. I don't know what the chat picked. It seemed 50-50.
It's like 50-50 to me.
I kind of think the one on the left is either French or English.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. All 3 of the Quarter Hoarder crew says right. Let's see who gets it. It was left. Left. 1927 Vermont, Sesquicentennial half. The one on the right, 1914 Italy, 2 lira. You know what's funny too, Doug? And I'm going back about 3 years. I dug not that exact lira, but another one with that same face on it. So I might have known this one if I remember.
Okay.
I'm going to go through the chat. Alina Tilson is 0 for 5. I'm sorry, Alina. That's part of the game. Hoarder Horde says 5 for 5. Tyler Yoska, 4 for 5. I guess he dropped one. Tyler's a good coin guy, too. I got him. Nick Hofinger went for the powdered wig. Good job. Orchid Lady said Mussolini. I don't know who it is.
Well,
I think 1914 might have been too early for Mussolini.
The guy on the right does not look Italian at all.
Yeah, it says Vittorio.
Vittorio Emanuele.
You know who that is, Doug?
No, but that's what it says.
Oh, I didn't know if he was your classmate.
Yeah, we fought side by side in World War One.
Who else here? Kitty Lobo, 1 for 5. John Shute, 4 for 5. Larry Thomas, 2 for 5. Hey, guys, that's a good idea. Put in your stats if you know them, if you've kept track of your right or wrong. I'm just going to take your word for it. I don't know. Diana Reed, 2 for 5. Gene Diggs History, 2 for 5. Tiffany McKinney, 3 for 5. Gene Diggs, 2 for 5. RT Detecting, 2 for 2. Joseph Paquin, 3 for 5. On the Mark is apparently 6 for 5. I guess he counted the Mercury example. Big Wave, 3 for 5. Iron Jim, Out West Detecting, 2 for, I couldn't read it. Everybody put it in. I'm going to look back later, but good job. And Darren Bridges says he told you 3 rights make a left, Doug.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, this game is more successful than I thought.
We should have checked with KK or Brad Martin on the
you're right.
piece.
This game, Doug, was totally worth the 7 hours I wasted of my life putting it together for your amusement.
Good.
All right, let's go to the next one. There's a few more of these. I'm kind of liking it. Let's go full screen. Here we go for the next one, guys. Good luck, everybody. And again, Charlie, don't blurt out the answer.
I won't.
All right, there it is. Everybody take a look. I'm going to look through the chat and see who chimes in first. Gene Diggs History, first one off the bat, says left. Anthony D says right. Adrian Tucker, right. A lot of rights. Michael Walker, right. The moderator, Chris, I think said left. A lot of rights. No right. I'm seeing might be 50-50. I'm not sure. Gordon McCall, left. Nick Shalano, I think, said right. Dan Bob, left. Orchid Lady, left. Bob Gentry, I couldn't tell your answer. I'm sorry. It's going kind of quick. Matthew Freeze, right. John E.B., right. Edward G., right. Lauren Wendell said left. Darren Gooden says left. Let's bring us back up here. And Dougie, I think you're first on the block. What do you think of number, I think it's 6?
No, I'll go with right. He looks too American.
Going with right just because he looks American. That's racist, Doug.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I don't know. I don't know what that even means.
Guy from the left looks like South American.
Okay. So Doug's on the board with left. Charlie and Lynn, don't look at the chat. I don't want them to sway you. Charlie, what do you think? Left or right? Which one is the American coin?
Well, one on the right looks like Amos Stolfus from Lancaster. Right.
He does look like an Amish guy. So, what's your pick?
The guy looks too much like people where I live. He's American.
I don't know if there's a coin with an Amish face on it.
So what is that, right?
I'm taking right.
That's
You're
what I
taking the
said.
right.
That's what I said.
All right. So, Lynn, we're back to this again. Do two rights make a wrong? What is your pick, Lynn?
I have no clue. I'm going to say left.
You're going left just to get away from the guys.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
No
That's
matter
fair.
what I say, it's wrong.
All right. We got two rights from the men, one left from the women or woman. Let's see who the winner is.
Oh.
It's the left. Doug, the guy on the left, it's a 1936 Bridgeport, Connecticut, U.S. The guy on the left is P.T. Barnum, Doug.
I thought he looked familiar.
Yeah, I thought that might have given it away.
Wow.
But it's P.T. Barnum. I have no clue who the guy on the right is. It might be that Schlosshofen guy from your neck of the woods, Charlie. I really don't know.
But you know what, Jason? A lot of Dutch did go to that part of the world.
They did.
A lot of
Oh, I'm
Dutch.
sorry. I forgot to announce the right. Not that everyone can't read it, but if anyone out there is illiterate, the right is an 1892 South Africa 5 shilling.
Yeah, a lot of Dutch moved there. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm going to put that out there. Wicked Digger, he recognized the beard. I don't know if you got it right or not, Chris. Don York, 3 for 6. Free Bridge metal detecting. He is sporting 6 for 6, he claims.
Wow.
We have to go back later and check that. That's impressive. Crazy Diggins, 50-50. Love Jesus Lee, 3 for 6. Jill Lucier, 4 for 6. Nick Stewart, 5 for 6. Impressive. Sluzen, 2 for 6. You got to practice, buddy. Edward G, 1 for 6. That's a tough one. Doug, Lynn, Charlie, I haven't been keeping track of yours. Do you know what you are, Lynn?
Well, do I get the first one, the practice?
No, you don't get the Mercury Dime one.
Well, then I'm 2. I have
2 for 6. Doug, what are you?
I'm sorry. I'm probably 2 and 4.
2. Charlie, you're also 2?
Yeah.
All right. So they're 2 for 6. Mud Swat, 4 for 6. Jenny Walburn, 4 for 6. I'm sorry, 6 for 6. I didn't mean to take 2 of them away. Is anybody 0 for 6? That's what I'm curious about. That's just terrible guessing if you're 0 for 6. Stay away from the roulette wheel if you're 0 for 6. All right, let's go to the next one. How many more do I got of these? I got 3 more, Doug, because I have no life, and this is what I do in my spare time.
Okay.
All right, let me bring it up full screen. Here we go. Number 7. Good luck, everybody.
Let's see.
All right, there it is. Don't blurt it out, anybody. I'm going to look for the chat. Gene Diggs again first, right. Brandon Jock left. Lloyd right. John Barnier, I couldn't tell what he said. A lot of rights. I'm seeing lefts come in. Stickman says left. Enron left. Gladys Moral right, I think she said. Turd says left. I love that. Turd's my hero. He's my new friend. Dirt, Kansas, something or other, right. Randall Channel, I think said right. I'm not sure. Mike Ritz says right. I'm getting text on my phone, people saying left. I'll have to see who it is later. Chris Fallon says, I'm 2 for 6. I don't know if I'd even be that high, Chris. Mud Swat says yes. I don't even know what that means. That must have been a question. All right, so it looks maybe 50-50 again, which are the ones I love. Let's bring it back to us. And I'm going to go. Doug, I lost track. Who's going first?
Lynn again.
All right, Lynn again. You are first. Which one? Stop looking at the chat. Doug, Lig, and Charlie. Now this is all you. Lynn, what's your guess?
I think this is another trick one. because the left is supposed to look like Lady Liberty with the crown. So I'm going to go with right.
Oh, you're going right only because you think I'm trying to pull a fast one.
Yes.
All right. I like your thinking. I like it. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me, or whatever the
Fool
expression.
me twice, shame on me.
I always get that wrong.
I know.
Shame on
Gonna
me
back
for not
up.
knowing it.
Very confusing.
Charlie, you're number 2 here. Which one is the U.S. coin?
Thing with Lynn, trick
You
question.
think I'm trying to pull a fast one? You're going
Yeah.
right.
I say it's right.
All right. Doug, you can pick what you want, but again, we are at 2 rights. A lot of times they've made a wrong. What's your guess, Doug?
Yeah, but I got to go with them. I know you want us to say that the left is a seated Liberty quarter or coin. I'm going to go with the right.
All right. So you're all picking right because you think I'm some dirty, sneaky scumbag
You
trying
are
to fool
snake
you.
in the grass.
Let's see if you're correct. Here comes the answer. You're right. I tried to trick you. I'm a dirty, sneaky
Yep.
SOB. The one on the left, again from France, 1908, Indochina, whatever the heck it is. The 35, Hudson, New York, another sesquicentennial, which is, I get a mouthful just saying that word. And I thought I even saw people in the chat say the actual coin.
Really?
And you know what I'm thinking, Doug, is I had this epiphany yesterday, is we got the Statue of Liberty from France.
Yes.
So what we think is they're stealing our design. It was really their design first, right?
Right.
So, I guess they're allowed to use it.
I guess.
Let me go to the chat here, Doug. Crazy Digging, 3 for 2. John Shoot, 5 for 7. Vonda, 5 for 7. Hoarder Horde, he was perfect, 6 for 7. Nick Stewart, 6 for 7. Slows in 2. Free Bridge Metal Detecting claims to be 7 for 7. Not that I'm discounting you, but that's a heck of a claim. Brent, 207, 6 for 7. Aiden Tucker, 8 for 7. My hat winner from last week, Doug. Dave Efren, 3 for 7. Stickman, 3 for 7. Team Lynch in the chat, 1 for 2. Thank you for coming. A little bit late, but I'm glad you made it. Tiffany McKinney, 3 for 7. That's a pretty good score there. A lot of them. Up 0 for 7 for Grandpa Hoover. Sorry to hear it, Grandpa Hoover. 0 for 7.
Digging Virginia, 6 for 7.
We got 2 more. I don't even know how I'm going to do a game out of this, Doug. I'm not going to stare at the chat for they're just going to type in L's and R's before I even say it. Yeah. I might not be able to do a hat for this game. We'll see what happens. I got 2 more there, Doug. Let's go back to the full screen so everyone can see it. This will be number 8. Good luck. All right, it's on the board. I'm going to look at the chat and see what comes in. David L. comes in first with left. Buff Nav says left. John Troyer says right. Judge Gringer Harden, I couldn't read it, sorry, says right. Orchard Lady right. Willie right. Jason Alexander right. Greg Ball left. Ange Dean right. D. Walker right. Daryl Goodenrow right. Rock and Roll something or other right. Oh, a lot of rights coming in now. I do see some lefts in there, though. Now some more lefts are coming in. It's like a horse race, Doug.
Yeah.
Now a lot of lefts. Who's going to take the lead in the final turn? We will find out as we throw it back to the live panel. I'm going to start with Dog Tag Doug. Don't look at the chat anymore, guys.
I go with the right.
Why?
Well, I'm looking at the shield on the left.
Okay.
And it looks like somebody in armor. And the shield looks like it says Eureka, but in Latin, I don't know. I just think the one on the right is too Americana.
Okay. Doug going for the right. Charlie, you're number 2. Where do you pick, Charlie?
I like to pick the one on the right. Same thing. Two farmers from the colonial era. That looks like a American-made farm tool that he's holding.
It looks like one of those sickles, right? That they would cut the wheat down with.
Yeah, for that. Yes.
Yeah, and only America grows wheat, so you're probably
Yeah.
right there.
Oh yeah, yeah. We've got the market cornered.
We got the market corner. I say right.
All right, Lynn, we're back to the two rights. Every time we're at two rights. Lynn, are you going to keep it or break it up?
I think I'm going to go with it this time. The one on the left, it almost looks like there's a pyramid in the background or something. Or he looks like, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to stick with the guys.
All right, everyone's sticking together. Let's see if three rights make a wrong. Good luck. All wrong.
Darn it.
The one on the right's a 1924 Russian 1 ruble. The one on the left is a 1936 California Pacific sesquicentennial half dollar. The what you thought was a pyramid, Lynn, was a boat. Well, it's hard to tell because I gotta cover so much of it up. But I thought that was going to fool people because when I saw that Russian ruble, I thought, man, that looks American to me too. It just has that rustic farmer look to it.
Yeah.
It does.
Now the back of that Russian coin, clearly not an American coin.
I fell for that one.
Yeah, that one I pulled the wool over your eyes. So let me go to the chat and see the scores here. Free Bridge Metal Detecting says 7 for 8. Daniel Goodnow says 3 for 8, and he does admit he sucks. So it's a big man to admit you're no good.
Hey, Jason.
Yes.
My daughter just texted me. She says, I'm kicking ass at this.
Oh, what's her score?
I don't know. I'll ask her.
Oh, great, Lynn. Now everyone knows Rich has a sister. Who are they going to think that's going to be? The Rich family tree is so confusing.
He's got 2 sisters.
Jim Sideoff, 4 for 8. Edward G, 2 for 8. Mike Ritz, 5 for 8. Rando Channel, 6 for 8. Buff Nav, 7 for 8. Andrew T, 6 for 8. Dan Babb, 9 for 7.
9 for 7.
Clem Fandango is 99 for 100. I don't know, Doug. I'm just reading them off. These scores are not verified or vetted by any means. At the end of the first one, the best ratio wins. How's that sound? I don't even know how I would do that, Mud, because I don't know if people's numbers are legit or not. I think we're just playing this game for fun. On the mark said Matt's husband. I'm not even sure whose Matt's husband is. All right. Oh, Jenny Wahlberg got her first one wrong. Oh, I finally tricked her. It's a badge of honor, Doug. When Jenny Wahlberg is sitting on 7 for 7 and I sneak one past her. You know, some of the guys are easy to get past, you know, like Sluzen 37%, you know, I can fool him with a wheat penny, but the people that are 7 for 8, you know, I earned my money on that one. All right. I got one last one, Doug. Are you ready? Let's see if we're going to go out with a bang. Back to the full screen. Good luck, everybody. It's your last chance for redemption. All right, there it is. Let's take a look. I'm looking to the chat. Hit the mark in first with the right. Gene Diggs says, I missed it. I'm sorry. Karen, because I can't pronounce the name, but she's right, KK. She chose right. Cindy Marlette says right. Dave Efren says right. Vonda, right. It's going kind of fast. I'm sorry. Mudswat says left, 100%. Brent says it's right. Tony Rag says left. Graylin, something I missed. I don't even know what you said. Iron Jim. Maxine says right. Somebody said it's a trick. Willa says, of course it's a trick. Well, that's the whole point of the game. Eric Klinger says left. I'm seeing a 50-50 mix, which is what I love, Doug, because if it was 90%, then I didn't do a very good job. And before we reveal the answers, we're going to go to the panel for the last time. I think Doug's asleep, so I'll go to Charlie first.
Well, the one on the right looks like the Minuteman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
That's what we're supposed to think.
So I'm going to take left.
You don't know. Oh, you're thinking I'm tricking you again.
Yes.
I am a sneaky SOB. Charlie's going with the left. Lynn, number 2. What do you pick?
I had the same exact thought. It looks like a Minuteman. I don't know what that thing is that he's standing next to, but
wow.
I guess, but the other one has a plow in it too. Ah,
It's a wheelbarrow.
I'm gonna go with right. He just looks too.
Oh, Doug, you've got a 50-50 panel in front of you.
Yeah.
Neither one of them are, you're gonna have to pick one or the other. Charlie says left, Lynn says right. Dog tag Doug, what's your answer?
Well, I haven't had too much success with guessing, but that's what I'm doing. I'm going to go with the right because it looks like a Minuteman. The one on the left looks like another Soviet coin. They like to show themselves being manly.
Yeah, there's a sickle in that picture. Isn't that a Soviet symbol?
Yeah, well,
It looks like a sledgehammer.
And hammer were, but
It
Yeah,
looks
but
like a
there's-
sledgehammer, but
it's
I'm
a
not
sledgehammer, and he's
Down near
beating
the
the hell out of the anvil.
If you look down near the plow, I think there's a sickle in there.
sure. You might be right.
I have a feeling it's a token from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
All right, so Doug and Charlie chose. I'm sorry, Doug and Lynn chose right.
Yes.
Charlie chose left. Here comes the last one, guys. Good luck, everybody, and we'll finally put this game to bed. It was a Minuteman, and it was the right.
Doug.
So I used reverse psychology, Charlie, knowing that you knew I tried to trick you twice. You're thinking I'm going to do it again, but I slid a fastball right by.
I'm impressed with Doug. He said that Russians like to show off their muscles and stuff.
Yeah. Doug, good job. The left, a 24 Russian 50 Kopek, I guess.
Kopek.
And then another 25 sesquicentennial Lexington Concord $50.
So that obviously was the Minuteman from
Yes.
Lexington Concord.
Let me go to the chat for the last one. Diggin Virginia said 8 for 9. That's impressive if you got that. Dennis Pietrowski, if I'm pronouncing it, 7 for 9. Edward G, 2 for 9. Hold your head up, Edward. We'll do it again next time. Nick Stewart, 7 for 9. Rolf Robertson, 4 for 9. Vonda, 6 for 9. Not bad. I'm with you. Not bad at all. Lauren Windell, 5 for 9. Nick Stewart, 7 for 9. Wicked Digger, the moderator, 6 for 9. Let's see. MEPA History, 7 for 9. Colonial King, 8 for 9. Nobody ran the gauntlet and went 9 for 9 that I'm seeing. There were some tricky ones in there. You know, if you notice, all the U.S. ones I chose were the sesquicentennial $50, which not a lot of people are familiar with.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, I mean, I couldn't put up like, Abe Lincoln and George Washington, the game's a big dud. You choose that. But so there it is. What do you think, Lynn? This is us, or what did I call it?
Us or them?
Us or them.
It was fun.
Jason.
I feel like a dope, but it was fun.
Yes, Charlie.
I think I want a deep buckle, right?
You what?
A deep buckle. I wanted, my grades in high schoul. You said it was like a deep buckle.
Well, it was stacked against you because I was trying to trick you. I was a terrible teacher. Edward said, okays are hard to see. I hope you don't mean those coins were hard to see, Edward. I couldn't make them any bigger. They were the whole full screen. Diggin Carolina says this is, I know. I messed up the names. I don't remember. So Heavenly Hills said he liked it because it was educational. Look at that, Lynn. Educational. I get called a lot of things every week. Educational, not usually on the short
There you go.
So Danny Coco says, where's Rich? Yeah, Rich wasn't able to make it tonight, but he might be back. Well, I was going to say next week. In 2 weeks, if you missed the early opening of the show, I'm moving the live stream to every 2 weeks. Gives me more time to put all the games together, and all that kind of stuff. So, Doug, we've been going 2 hours. I think we're going to get ready to wrap this up. We got to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go detecting all day.
Well, I don't. You do.
What do you mean you don't? You're going to be there.
Far to drive.
Oh, that's true. You don't have as far to drive.
It would be nice, though, if some people have questions, that we just spend a brief period of time answering questions.
You're the smart one of the group. Doug's right. If there's any questions that you have, put them in the chat. I mean, I might not see them if the chat goes fast, but we'll spend 10, 15 minutes doing questions before Doug passes out. Doug, is there a pillow next to you in case you fall asleep and just fall off the chair?
In the next room over.
All right. I should tell Kathy to put some pads around you just in case.
Yeah.
Doug's an early to bed, early to rise kind of guy.
Yep.
Let's see here. Is Lynn single? No, Lynn is not single. Lynn's
And Matt
happily
is
married.
not her son.
She has 3 children that she knows of.
Ooh.
Rich being one of them, of course.
And 2 lovely daughters.
Right.
Adrian Tucker says, Lynn, do you still make custom jewelry? Oh, I'm sorry. Anthony said that. Anthony D, do you still make custom jewelry? Yes, she does. Lynn, shout out to you. Lynn makes it and sells it on a Facebook page. Lynn, give yourself a plug and where people can find it if they so choose.
Well, it's in Facebook, and there's a site called Preservation of the Past, and you have to join it, but it's free to join, and that's where you would see when I post stuff. I will say that the necklace that I have on here, I don't think you can see it, but it's an arrowhead that Rich found on one of the digs, and he gave it to me to make myself a piece of jewelry. So this is probably about 5,000 years old, and I think it was found in New Jersey at one of the digs. So I treasure this.
Now, listen, I don't want to speak for Lynn, but Lynn makes incredible, one-of-a-kind, unique jewelry, and she makes it around objects that, you know, are found or picked up. She makes a lot of them out of the redware that we find.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody out there has a sentimental piece and you want Lynn to make one for you, I mean, not for free. I mean, it takes her a long time. You could reach out to Lynn and she can check her availability. Is that fair, Lynn?
Sure. Certain times of the year are better than others for that. So
how's morning time?
Oh no, I'm a night owl. So
email her in the evening. You got a better shot.
Yeah.
So, Lynn, if you want to type your you can't type it in there.
No. I don't have any.
Her email is, go ahead and say it, Lynn. I'll type it in there.
Okay. Ivy Hill 76.
Hold on. I have to type it because I don't know. I don't have it memorized.
IVY.
IVY.
HILL. 76 at AOL.com.
At AOL.com. You know, you've had that email us a long time.
AOL still active? Oh,
yeah, I'm a creature of habit.
Right, I just posted it. Well, Doug, I'm not. Oh, okay. I was going to say, I'm not even a moderator. I forgot. Lynn, I still use a Yahoo email address, so I'm right there with you.
All right.
Yeah.
I have a question to answer.
You don't get to ask questions.
No. To answer.
Oh, to answer. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Dangus Squat Burger swear, wants to know if I'm single.
Does he know Turd Ferguson?
And I don't know. But
Okay.
I hope it's a she. But
Doug locked up. What was the question, Lynn?
Is Doug single?
Is Doug single? No, Doug is not single. Doug's lovely wife, Kathy, who doubles as his IT tech, might be asleep. Doug seems to have locked up. I'll see if he comes back. But no, Doug is not single. In fact, all of us, I'm proud to say, are taken. Right, Charlie?
I'm 57 years.
Charlie married 57 years to the lovely Judy, who's made an appearance in a video or two in the past.
Right.
Doug's married to his lovely wife, Kathy, who has not made an appearance in a video that, or maybe she did, maybe on a live stream. She may have made an appearance. I don't remember.
Doug's gone.
Well, he might come back. We'll see. Lynn's husband, Dave, never made an appearance that I know of. Was he at a live stream like when we did the Christmas live stream?
No, he wasn't there. I don't think. No.
My wife's made like 2 appearances, but I mean, you're talking over a 10-year period. Most people probably don't remember. Danny Coco said Doug was just AI the whole time. Wasn't real. There wasn't the real Doug.
Really him.
Doug's back. Hold on, let me bring him back in. There he is, Doug. I thought you fell asleep, Doug, and your head hit the keyboard.
No.
Okay.
No, my wife didn't kill me for answering the question. Did everybody get the answer? I'm married.
I gave your answer. Yeah, I gave your answer.
But I have not quite as many concubines as Solomon. only 300.
People are asking if you fell over, if your wife did put the pads around the chair.
She shut me down.
Doug has been reincarnated. Yeah, everyone is taken. Everyone's husband, wife, girlfriend, boy. No one has a boyfriend that I think that I hunt with. Not that I remember. Everyone's taken. The spouses don't always make appearances, but I will say, without the supportive spouses, we wouldn't be doing it every week because we're out a long time. It can be a demanding schedule. You have to have a pretty understanding spouse to put up with some of the nonsense. Turd is also taken, Doug. Turd Ferguson in the chat. He is spoken for. So I'm assuming Turd's a guy. Ladies, don't try to message Turd. He's taken. Let me see. Thank you to Teresa. Dirty Dan says, are you ever coming to Montana? Whoo, that's far. I'm probably not. Doug, you've been to Montana, haven't you, Doug?
I have. I took a whole month, went out west. We started with Montana, went to Glacier National Park and worked our way south. We saw 8 or 9 national parks and a whole bunch of other things in a month. So
Charlie, ever been to Montana?
I'll be there August.
Yay!
To Montana.
I'll be in Montana August.
For what?
I'm going to go out and visit Teresa. And her
husband. She's in Wyoming.
I thought she was in Wyoming.
She is, but we're going to Montana.
Oh, that's close.
Oh. So Teresa doesn't want you to come to her house. She's like, no, meet me in another state, Charlie. She's smart. She's smart.
Yep.
Lynn, you ever been to Montana?
You know where she lives.
Yeah, I've been out there. It's beautiful.
Well, I mean, I figure it's beautiful. I'm just, I guess because in my mind, I mean, what are the destinations besides, I guess, like national parks and stuff,
yeah.
right?
Now, all the national parks are really amazing.
One day I'd like to get out there. I haven't made it yet. When my kids are a little bit older, they're both teenagers, then the wife and I plan on traveling more. Turd Ferguson says Clem Fandango is mine. Turd, I don't know if you're a guy or a girl.
It's a guy.
So I'm not sure. I'm just assuming Turd's a guy, but I could be wrong. Let me see here. He was making a drink. Mr. Turd. Girls' night out for Lynn. Tiffany McKinney, where do you buy your glasses? I mean, maybe she's talking to you, Charlie. Mine are just from the dollar store. They're reading glasses, but I need them to read dates on coins. I need them to read comments on videos. I like this color I mentioned before because I'm colorblind, I can see this color. Not that I know what it is. I thought it was yellow, but I think it turns out it's not. It's like pink, but I'm not sure. When you're colorblind, you don't care if things are pink. And I like how the contrast to my eyes differs from the hat. So they're from the dollar store. I probably own 50 pairs of them because they break. I lose them. But $1, you can pick one up. All right, Doug, I think we're going to wrap it up.
Okay.
Do you any last words, Doug? Not last words, but for the stream. Or
last meal? No.
I haven't eaten dinner yet. I'm really hungry.
I made a nice meatloaf dinner tonight.
Oh, Dig Stock. Are we going to Dig Stock? I heard there's one in February. I won't be there. Maybe the next one. We don't travel a lot in the winter. Kenneth Sharper said you detect South Jersey all the time. I live in South Jersey, so yeah, that's one of the big ones.
We'll be there tomorrow.
Hurricane Alley Relic Rescue says, "Hey Doug, did Jason show pictures to you?" I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
Oh, yeah, that's Danny. I did. I showed it earlier in the stream. You might have got here late. I did. It's about that little smushed bell that turned out.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
right.
yes.
Okay.
Come out swinging. No, we won't be there. Well, I won't be there. I have another commitment for that event in Missouri the same weekend. Charlie, I don't know what his plans are. It's still kind of out in the early, but I know I won't be able to make it, unfortunately.
Well, it's in my backyard, so I'll probably be there.
Yeah, Charlie can throw a rock and hit that place. Laura said, are you going to Bone in New Hampshire? I've never made it to the Bone hunt, and I've heard really good things about it. So I don't know. I don't know the date, but I don't have anything registered. I'm not sure if, okay, I didn't know if you were asleep again, Doug.
What's that?
Your head was down. I thought, no, I didn't know if you were tying your shoe, fell asleep. All right.
Chats. I think it's April 4th
What's that?
in Missouri.
I don't know the date.
The first weekend, April.
Yeah, I think it's April 4th.
It's the same weekend. I thought it was the 7th, but I could be wrong. I had a flyer, but I don't have it in front of me.
Okay.
So, all right, Doug, I'm starting to get tired. I haven't had dinner yet. I need a shower. We're getting up at the crack of dawn. Let's get out of here. Everyone can make their final words. We won't be back again live for 2 weeks. So, Doug, I'll give you the floor first.
Okay, just want to thank everyone for tuning in and being the support system that you are. Next time, I promise I'll have my collar available. Appreciate everybody that send in a dog tag to enhance its appearance. I wear it proudly when I'm forced to, but good to see everybody tagging along. Appreciate it.
Dog tagging along.
Dog tagging along.
Lynn, any final words, Lynn? And let me just say, Lynn is not the most technical guru, and because Rich couldn't be there today, she was nervous she wouldn't be able to get on the stream. Or Lynn did a fantastic job. Thank you, Lynn, for putting in the effort and doing it all by. Well, Dave helped a little bit, your husband.
Yeah.
But Lynn did a great job, and she was all alone and got it done. So excellent job. But final word, Lynn.
Well, thanks to everybody that tuned in, as Doug said, and I wish you guys good luck tomorrow. I have to pass on this one. We're on painting duty over at our daughter's house still.
Ooh.
So we'll be painting all day in a new house that she bought, new old house. So anyway, I can't wait to hear what you find.
And I can't wait to detect her new old house.
Doesn't have a big yard.
Oh, Charlie, any last words, Charlie?
I appreciate everyone for tuning in on the live stream here. What 2.5 hour live stream?
Yeah.
I'll probably sometime tomorrow when we detect, I'm going to take my nap during the.
Oh, Charlie's good for the walk back to the truck nap. 2.5 hour live stream. I mean, heck, Charlie, you could have watched, the whole Star Wars trilogy, but they hung out with us. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Again, my moderators, I still see Wicked Digger here. I know he's got to work tomorrow. Chris, thank you very much. Make sure you check out his YouTube channel, Wicked Digger. Hollywood Joe, who was in earlier, he may have passed out too. This is kind of late for a Thursday. Teresa, the Heritage Relic Hunter. Teresa, the Treasure Hunter. Thank you very much. But we're going to call this a night. We'll see you guys back here in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And you will see us on Tuesday for an extraordinary first of the Cobfield videos. So thank you very much.
Ready.
So let's sign off, Dougie. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody out there. Happy hunting, and we will see you on the next one. Later.
Bye-bye.